development was started in the 70s, and it completely made in 1989, but it got popularity just 10 years before. Okay, so the developer of Python, his name is Guido van Rossum. When he began implementing Python, he was also reading a published script from Monty Python's Flying Circus, so which was a BBC comedy series from 1970s. So he thought he needed a name for the language which should be very small, which should be very mysterious, so and unique. So he gave the name Python. So students, here we go, the Python programming. So let me share my screen. So let me tell you why we are using Python. There are, if you know only C programming, then let me tell you that it is extensible to C and C++. Its syntax is very simple and clear. Just like a normal English statement, you can write a program. It is universal and accessible language. It means that if you write a program in Windows, you can run it Linux as well. It's platform independent, and it may interface with all the other languages. It may interface with hardware as well. It may call other language as well. Okay. And fast prototyping, excellent support community. So now lots of first year students who know only C programming, they can also learn very quickly. So today I will cover variables, operators, and the loops. We will start with the Python first, and then we'll gradually move to data science so that it will build your base. It is applicable everywhere: machine learning, gaming, web programming, and hardcore implementation of algorithm as well. It is facilitated with lots of libraries: NumPy, SciPy, Panda, and several other scikit-learn as well. So several things you will come to know during the course. It works on networking as well. So some of the statistic is shown to you in the graph here. You may see last 3 years data, 16, 17, 18. You can see the popularity of Python is gradually increasing. So that's why we are conducting the course here as well. Now, how to get Python? There are various ways how to get Python. So Python generally comes in two versions: Python 2.7 and Python 3 point something. So both versions will work. So here we will use Python 3.6. And this Python, you will get it from python.org, which is free. You go to python.org, go to download, and depending on your choice, you may download Python any version for your operating system, whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit. And depending on the RAM size and your system capability, you may download this. So when you download from python.org, you will write your code in IDLE. IDLE means integrated development environment. And suppose you don't have a facility computer or laptop with you, you are in a remote place and you have only your mobile. With the help of mobile as well, you can do the programming. So students, already on the WhatsApp group, we have shared how to use Google Colab. Again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. So let me share how to use that. You will get Google Colab. Just click it. So it is not taking a time, and it will give you a very fast way. I mean, as soon as you learn, you may directly type and you may check it. You can store it on your Google Drive, the future references. So here in our class, we have several editor actually, Spider, Jupyter, and Python Idle. Here, preferably, I'm going to use Python, a Jupyter notebook. You can use any notebook for your programming. Only thing is that you have to update your Python. Python 3.8 or 3.6 will do. Okay. So after opening the Google Colab, students, you will see like this screen where the play button is there. At that time, here you can write any code. So let me start. Suppose you want to display anything. So you will just write print, and for printing any data, single you can use single quote or double quote. So here single quote I'm using. So say if I want to print Xavier, just type it and then file it, run it. So you may get the output as well. So this is the output. So similarly, you can do other program as well. If you don't have any laptop or uh, computer devices with you, so on mobile also you can do it. So let me go to the theory part now. So I'm starting with the Python basic operators and variables, how to write and how to see input and output. So as you can see now, this is Jupyter notebook is open. I am using Python 3, so it is showing me Python 3. So going to Python 3 now. So here you can see. Now students, first of all, will see what is known and what is unknown, how to comment Python programming. So single line comment, you will use hash. Now it is ignored by the Python. If suppose you want to have multiple line, you want to ignore it. So 3 time you can use single quote or 3 time double quote. So anything in red is ignored by the program interpreter. So single line and multi-line comment. So in C programming, if you want to use any variable, you have to first declare and then you have to use it. So here, no need to declare, directly you can use, and automatically it during runtime only, it will be typecasted to integer or character or float, whatever you want. So let's see variable. So the variable naming and all, everything remains same. Uh, it should not start with digit, it should not contain special character, okay, it should not contain space. So all the rules of C programming will be stick to the variable in Python as well. So for example, I want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So let me see. These are called as arithmetic operators. So we'll do it. These are also binary operator because it requires two operand. Okay. So two variables I'm taking, A and B. So let's say its values are 5 and say another value B, we are taking 6. So now A and B becomes variable and with assigned value 5 and 6, which is nothing but integer. So if I want to do addition, so print A plus B, simple. And you will see the output as well. So it is showing you the output. Suppose subtraction, similarly, you can do multiplication as well. Okay, so let me see this, then division I will tell you separately. So this is showing me the result of addition, subtraction and multiplication. Now let me try division. A divide by B. In case of C programming, you will get only integer value, whereas in case of Python programming, you will get the exact value along with the fraction as well. See here, you can see it is showing you 0.833 and so on. In case of C, it would have given you 0. Okay? So here it is giving you fraction. But if you want only quotient, in division, if you want only quotient, then how to do this? So you may change it, this operator, 2 times divide. Use this, then you will get the quotient. Now we'll see this output, students. Yeah, so you got 0. I mean, now it is working as C. Okay. Then we have another operator, finding a remainder as well. If you want to find out remainder, so again we have mod, like just like C. So A mod B. So give you a so just run it and check it. Yeah. So 5 divided by 6, remainder is 5. Okay. Now let me find out a x raised to y. If you want to perform x raised to y, students, then that also you can do. Here we have other operator for that. So print a raised to b I want to print. So 2 times star, that becomes a power something. So here it becomes a power b. So students, you will get the result of 5 raised to 6 now. So which is nothing but 15625. Okay. So these are all arithmetic operators. So here arithmetic operators done. And second thing, when you want to display only variable, you can directly write that variable name in the printf box. If you want to display a message along with the variable, then we'll see one more thing. Say print, I want to display only message. So I can use single quote as well as double quote. So I'm showing you both here. Now I'm using single quote. Okay. So just run it. AVL Python. That means both the codes are working, students. Okay. Now I want to tell you one more thing. Along with the string, I mean, along with any statement, I want to print some value. Okay. Let me print addition with the result that addition equals to something. So previously we have done A and B. So this is a notebook. It takes care of all the previous and compiled data. So directly I'm going to print the result of A plus B. So print, I'm going to display message. Therefore I'm going to use single quote or double quote. So message, what is the message? Addition equal to. Equal. Okay, and then I'm going to print the variable value from where I can get the addition. So I can get the addition from A plus B only. So string, comma, string. I have written string. Addition is a string, comma. The variable is nothing but A plus B. So I'm writing A plus B. Okay, students. So just compile it and see. Is showing you me result as addition equals to 11. That means A is 5, B is 6. So it is showing me. Okay. So this is all done with the basic part where we have learned several things. Number one, how to do single line comment. So this is welcome. This is nothing but single line comment. And then 3 times single quote or 3 times double quote is nothing but multiple line comment. Okay. And then we have seen a similar A plus B, A minus B, and all the arithmetic operator. So here you have to remember one thing, that A divided by B will give you answer in fraction as well, and A 2 times divided by B will give you only quotient. So this is the something new which you are learning other than C now. Also, A raised to B, you can write A star star B. It is A raised to B. Okay. So this covers your arithmetic operator. Then we'll start with the other operator, relational operator. So let me share you some theory, and then along with that theory, we will use our programming here. Okay. So let me share you another file. So So we have to cover arithmetic operator, comparison operator, assignment operator, logical operator, bitwise operator, membership operator, and identity operator in order to do a good Python programming. So first arithmetic operator we have done. Let me start with comparison. Comparison operator is also students called as a relational operator. Relation between the two things, whether two things are equal, two things are not equal. If they are not equal, then first item is less than second item. First item is greater than second item. All those things will come over here. Okay. So we'll see that. So this is equal to, not equal to, A greater than B, A less than B, A greater than or equal, A less than or equal. So this thing, relation will always give you answer whether it is satisfying or not satisfying. If the relation is satisfying, students, then the answer will be true. True means 1, logically 1. And if relation is not satisfying, that means it is false. So it is going to give you answer 0. So let us go back to the Python editor, Jupyter, where we will do all this thing with the same example, A equal to 5 and B equal to 6. We will try to find out the result. Okay, so let us see what is going to be the answer of A equal to B if I write. So A is 5, B is 6. So A is equal to B if I'm doing, that means it is checking what is the value. So it is false, so false get printed. Similarly, let us the next one, A less than B. A less than B is true. A is 5, B is 6, therefore A is less than B. A not equal to B. So 5 and 6 definitely they are not equal. So run it again. So A less than or equal to B. So here students, two things will come, two conditions. A is less than B or A is equal to B. Any two is true, then answer is true, because here it is or. Okay, this is not and. In case of and, logically if I'm saying and, that means both the conditions should be true. So here I'm saying or, less than or equal. So A is 5, so 5 is less than 6, this condition is true. So ultimately it is going to give you result as true. So run. So it is going to give us result as true. Let's say the next, A greater than equals to B. If you do, it is not satisfying, so it should come false. Okay, so this covers your relational operator, where you can compare the two items, and accordingly you may proceed for your. Go back to another operator as well. Next comes assignment operator. As you know already, equal to in mathematics is different. Equal to in programming language is different. Equal to means what? You are assigning a data to some variable, and how it is read by the compiler students. First, you will read the right side. The right side value is copied to the left side. Always it is assignment, not equal. Remember this point. In case of, if you want to check equal to, the two times equal symbol is for comparing. You are not assigning anything. Assignment only done at the beginning, when you want to give some value to some variable. Okay, so here equal to, plus equal to, minus equal to means, say, uh, if it is written over here C plus equal A, it means that C equal to C plus A. This is nothing but accumulating this value to C. If you see C minus equal to A, that means C equal to C minus A. C star equal to A, that means C equal to C star A, that means multiplication. And C divided by equal to A, that means C equal to C divided by A. Always taken the first parameter of the left side. Okay, and the binary operator should be attached before the equal operator. Okay, before the assignment. So this is the assignment operator, and you are attaching before the assignment operator the plus. Okay, similarly for remainder, similarly for finding uh, x raised to y. Okay, and this is just taking an integer division, not the complete division. So for integer division, 2 times double slash. Okay, so we can see this in the program as well. So now A and B value are going to be changed, student, because I'm not using the third variable. A value is 5, B value is 6. Remember this. And then now we will do all the assignment operators. So if I write A equals to B, what is the meaning of this? The value of B is given to A. So A value was earlier 5, B is 6, 6 is given to 5, so 5 is omitted now. So A value is what? 6. Similarly, B value remains 6 because its duplicate copy goes to A. Okay, so A and B both will be now 6. So let us see the value printing. So print, I can print multiple variable at the same time also. So I want to print both A and B. So A comma B. Okay, so let's take this. Okay, that means both the values becomes 6 now. So if I do A plus equal to B, that means A equal to A plus B. Plus 6, it gives you A value as 12. B will remain as 6 only. Let us check that also. So print A comma B. Let us see this now. So I told you A plus equal to B means what? A equal to A plus B. Now A and B are combined and they are stored to A. So both are 6. So 6 plus 6, 12. 12 given to A. So A becomes 12 and B is already 6. So B copy is remain as it is. So similarly, we'll do the next one. Say I'm doing now B minus equal to A. That means B equal to B minus A. And then we'll see what is the value of A and B. So print A comma B. B equals to B minus A. B value is 6. 6 minus 12 is minus 6. Minus 6 is given to variable B. And A will remain. A is 12. B is minus 6. Okay. Similarly, you can do all other operators. Okay. What will be the answer of this? A equal to A divided by B. You may type in your message box. Okay. So let us verify your answer here. Okay. So 12 divided by 6, it comes minus 2. But not here, my stress was on the fractional point. It is giving you answer as 2 point minus 2.0, not minus 2. Why 0.0? Because it is giving you complete division answer. Okay. If you want answer in only integers, so you may use this one. Let us try to see the difference of this. A equal to A divided by B, the symbol. So printing A only, and the result is 0. Because here A value is what? Changed to minus 2. And B value remains the previous one. So dividend is less than divisor, answer comes that. So it is giving you only the quotient, students. Don't get confused. So 0, it is not taking the remainder part. So it is only the quotient. So 0.0 here comes. Okay, so this is all with the assignment operator. Then we'll move to the next operators. So let me share. Okay. Student, then comes a bitwise operator. Bitwise operator is very much similar to logical operator. Logic means the logical words and, or, not, XOR. Okay, all those things will come over here, and we have to first understand what is the symbol for and, what is the symbol for or, XOR, and not. So here the two examples are taken. A is taken as 60, B is taken as 13. Their value, students, always converted to binary 8-bit format. Okay, remember, the whatever the value you are taking in your example, that value converted to 8-bit format. Now 8-bit format binary. Binary means what? How to find out a binary of any number, students? You have to divide that number with 2 and you have to record only remainders. Okay, so the remainders will give you binary. When you divide any number by 2, you will get remainder either 0 or 1. Therefore, it generates a binary number 0101 remainders name. So how this can be converted to a binary? We have, say, the smaller number 13. I'm explaining that only 13. So if you want to write understand a binary of any number, so you will start writing 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 6, 2 raised to 7. That becomes total 8. So 2 raised to 0 is 1, 2 raised to 1 is 2, 2 raised to 2 is 4, 2 raised to 3 is 8. So I'm now reading from left to right. So it will be like, if it is 4-bit, then 8, 4, 2, 1. If it is 5-bit, it will be 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay. So here, let us say number is 13. 13 means what? Try to find out in terms of 2 power. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. 1 means 2 raised to 0 here. So 2 raised to 0, this position is 1. Then 2 raised to 1 means 2. So this position is 0. 2 raised to 2 is 4. So this position is 1. 2 raised to 3 is 8. So this position is 1. So 8, 4, 1. Combining together will give you answer as 13. And since you are representing this thing in 8-bit, therefore all the previous bits should be 0. Okay. Similarly, you may find out a binary of this as well, A. And then finding out the bitwise operations. So this is AND, bitwise AND. Okay. This is bitwise OR. This is bitwise XOR. And this is a symbol of ones complement. Ones complement, student, means what? Finding the exact opposite. So if you say ones complement of A, so here A is 0, 0. So ones complement will be 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So this is written over here. Okay. So all this thing is supported by Python. So let us see exactly how it is appear. Now students, when you compile this, when you run this program, you are not going to see binary. You are going to see only integer values. Let us check that. So here, let us take the same example. We had say 60, and we were having, say, B is, you can take any example, 13. These two numbers are there, and we want to find out bitwise operators. Simply we are taking in printf that operator and printing it. What is the result is going to? So A and So bitwise and I am doing now. So it is going to give you answer as 12. Students, it is not going to give you answer in binary. Though it is going to take a binary of every operand, calculate in binary, take the result of binary, and then while printing, it converts the binary to decimal. So therefore, you are getting answer this as. Taking the second thing, XOR. XOR means generally XOR is used for error checking. So in the networking, when somebody's sender and receiver sends sender sends data, it comes to receiver. So receivers layers, they verify the authenticity with the help of error bit error checking. So they whatever they have protocol, with that protocol they compare the two strings. If there is a difference between the string, so how to find out difference? If suppose first position is 0 here, first position 1, so there is a 1 bit error, so 1. So that difference is generated by XOR. So XOR is always used for finding the difference between the two operands. So let us see this now. Okay, so this is done. So similarly you may find out all the values. Now here what is my stress here? I'm giving you that these values you should understand. This is not any random thing. You should be able to solve with the pen pencil. You just find out binary and perform the operation, and whether you are getting the same answer or not. So that logic you have to see. Okay. So A or, now let us see, or B. So it is giving this one. Let us see one's complement or not of A. So one's complement symbol is tilde symbol, extremely left, just below the escape button. So not of A or one's complement of A, where at binary level all the bits are inverted. The output here, so 61 minus 61 it is given. Why minus it is given? Because in bit level, the extreme left part, if it becomes as 1, that means it says that your number is negative. So it is also called MSB. If MSB is 1 in some certain sign magnitude format, MSB is 1, it indicates that your number is negative, therefore it has come as negative. Why negative? Because the earlier bits I said you put 0. So 0, if you invert, it becomes 1. So previous all bits are 0. So here previous all bits become 1. That means it is negative. So let us go to the next operator. Then similarly we have a logical operator. Okay, I have not explained this thing. Left shift and right shift, 2 times less than, it means that students, you are shifting the binary bits towards the left side. Okay, binary bits towards the left side. When anything you are shifting towards left, 1 bit left, that means you are multiplying by 2. Okay, anything you are shifting towards left, that means you are multiplying by 2. So if you take any number as say a number as 12 and shifting 1 bit left, that means you are multiplying 12 by 2. So let us see this, very important. And similarly greater than, that means you are shifting right. If you are shifting anything towards right, students, that means you are going to divide. So in this manner, at bit level, multiplication and division occurs. So let us see that also. Let us see that. Uh, So say A is 12 and I want to print its value with 2 bits shifting towards left, not 2 bits, say 1 bit only, 1 bit. So 1 bit left, that means it should be multiplied by 2. So let us run this. You got this now. So 12, 1 bit shift multiplying by 2. Similarly, print A greater than. So that means 2 2s are 4, dividing by 4. Okay, so 12 divided by 4, answer comes as 3. So the bit level multiplication and division are done with the help of this shifting operator. That's why it is included. So you should be aware of this as well. Okay. Uh, Now logical operators, since we have this, it is just like similar to bitwise. In case of bitwise, we have used the symbol, and here in case of logical, we will use the normal English statement and small a and b, or o r not, that means one's complement, and ot not. That's it. This is, so this is going to give us answer is in true or false. It is going to compare. It is going to compare. The two operand. Now, how it is going to say true or false? Let me tell you. The two variable, if you're taking, say variable, if you're taking a as 5, so 5 is non-zero. So non-zero, that means it is true. If you take b as 6, b is also non-zero, so its value is true. But if you take b as 0, it becomes as false. So 0 value means false, non-zero value means true. Okay, and then you can do all this logical operator. And means multiplication, or means addition, not means exactly opposite. Okay, so let us solve this and see this. Okay, so let me take a as 4, b as 0. Okay, and print a and b. Okay, a and b, that means a is true, b is false. In this manner you should do. Answer come as 0. 0 means false. So students, here your answer will come either 0 or non-zero value. So don't get confused in true or false. Remember this point. These operators generally we use when we are doing any comparison, when we are doing any conditional thing. Okay, so here it is just assume that if you are getting value non-zero, it is true. If you're getting value 0, that means it is false. So let me do the other print. Now we know that a is true, so let us see what is the value of not of a. So here it is showing you false. Okay, so a is true, not of true means false, so it is showing false. Print another one, a or b. So or means addition. Here one operand is true, other operand is false. So false plus true is always true. Okay, so let us see. It is giving you 4. 4 means what? True. Okay, so don't get confused whether it is why it is not giving true or false. So if it is non-zero, true, zero means false. Okay, so this covers your logical operator as well. Let us move with the other operator. Students, the other operator is membership operator. It is new. It is new for you because it is not there in C programming. Uh, it is generally used in list, dictionary, or other data structures. Okay, so since it is, I have not completed. I mean, I have not covered list or other data structure part here. So I'm not going to tell you about this, but this is only two type: in, not in. In simple meaning is just like a English statement in, whether the item is in the box, whether item is not in the box. So it is just finding the membership of the item in one particular entity. Okay, so you will write the item name, the space in, space the group. Okay, so you may see here X in Y. So whether X is present in Y or not, so it will give you answer. Okay. Similarly, X is not in Y, so that means X is not in Y. If X is not in Y, then go to some and something. Okay. Similarly, uh, another operator as identity operator, is or is not. X is Y. You can see it evaluates true if variables on either side of operator points to the same object. Okay, those side points to the same object, then true. If they are different, then it is false. Also, uh, when we proceed further, when the new topic will come, at the time I will give you explanation for this. These are the operators precedence. Okay, which operator is giving, if one state you have multiple operators involved, then which operator is given the top priority, just like a mathematics only it is. So first we'll give priority to a raised to something power, so star star. Then students, always we will remember in mathematics we will give priority to unary operator. Okay, first exponential x raised to 1. After that unary operator, that means not of a, ones of a, or unary plus or unary minus. Unary requires only one operand. Okay, whereas binary operator requires two operand. That's why the name unary and binary given to them. Okay. Then we have after exponential, then we have unary operator, then we have arithmetic operator. Okay, in arithmetic operator, first we will do divide, modulus, integer division, and then we'll do addition, subtraction. After this, shifting, left shift, right shift, then bitwise operation, and or XOR, and then comes a relational operator or comparison operator, less than, greater than, equal to, not equal to, and so on. And at the end, the very last, it comes assignment operator. Okay, assignment operators comes, and generally here I have included identity, membership, and logical operator. They generally don't come in mathematical aspects. Okay, but even if they come, then you may consider it as a very least priority thing. So this completes your operators. You may type and check. I'm giving you 5 minutes time. By the time you just try to solve this exercise, your Google Colab. If you have a Jupyter notebook, try to do it on Jupyter. Spider notebook on Spider, or also you may do it, and you may verify. Here 5 minutes to you. Go ahead.